2007, a shy 20-year-old kid named Lionel Messi knelt over a little blue plastic bathtub and helped wash a giggling 5-month-old baby for a charity photo. Nobody in that room had the faintest idea what they were looking at, because 19 years later, that exact baby is going to walk out onto the biggest stage in world football and try to beat Lionel Messi in a World Cup final. If you tried to pitch this as a movie, a producer would send you home for writing something too ridiculous to believe. And yet here we are. This is the story of Messi and Lamine Yamal, and honestly, it might be the most beautiful coincidence the sport has ever produced. Here's the photo itself, quickly, because it's the seed for everything that follows. In December 2007, Barcelona ran a charity calendar with UNICEF, pairing each player with a local child whose family had won a place in a draw. Yamal's mother made the trek to the Camp Nou with her baby boy, and a young, still shy Messi, not yet the 8-time Ballon d'Or winner, but a promising 20-year-old in a squad full of bigger stars, was handed the job of bathing this infant he'd never met. It was one of hundreds of such photos, and like almost all of them, it was forgotten for the better part of 2 decades. Until 2024, when Yamal exploded into a superstar and his father dug it out and posted it online with 4 simple words: the beginning of 2 legends. Out of every pairing on that calendar, fate had put the future 8-time World Player of the Year in a bathtub with the boy who would grow up to be his heir. The photographer Joan Montfort could only call it a 1 in a million shot, insisting that destiny plays an important role in these things. And here's the thing. The reason this isn't just a cute photo, but something that genuinely feels written in the stars. The coincidences don't stop at the bathtub. They pile up until they become almost impossible to explain. Both of these players came up through La Masia, Barcelona's legendary youth academy. Both are left-footed forwards. Both made their senior debuts as impossibly young teenagers. Both play off the right wing, cutting inside onto that magic left foot. Yamal wears Messi's old number 10 shirt at Barcelona and has been anointed the closest thing the club has ever found to a successor. And the two of them are now both UNICEF Goodwill Ambassadors, the very charity that brought them together in that photo in the first place. Read that back. The charity that took the baby picture is the charity they now both represent. At a certain point, you stop calling this coincidence. You start calling it fate. And that UNICEF thread runs deeper than a shared title. Messi has been giving his time to the organization since 2004, becoming a Goodwill Ambassador in 2010, and flying straight out to earthquake-ravaged Haiti to shine a light on children in crisis, a cause he's carried for well over a decade. This very year, Yamal joined him in that exact role, using his own platform to champion every child's right simply to play. And when the teenager spoke about why it mattered to him, he talked about growing up with nothing but a family, a ball, a park, and a dream. The same humble beginnings that football and a little charity calendar once tried to protect. 2 boys, 1 bathtub, 1 cause, nearly 20 years apart. It really is almost too neat. Then there's the detail that ties a bow on the whole thing. When Messi was asked directly, back in 2024, which young player reminded him of himself, he didn't hesitate for long. He named Yamal, saying that because of the boy's age and his future, without a doubt, it's him for me too. The greatest player who has ever lived looked at the field of young talent and pointed at the one baby he'd once helped give a bath and called him his heir. The universe basically drew a straight line from that plastic tub to this final and made sure the man himself signed off on it. Nobody understands this better than Xavi, the Barcelona great who not only came up alongside Messi, but personally handed Yamal his debut. His account of it is spine-tingling, because he says he first heard whispers about this special kid around Barcelona in exactly the same way he'd once heard whispers years earlier about an Argentinian who played really well, a boy named Leo. History rhyming, right there in his own ears. Xavi threw Yamal on as a 15-year-old and describes putting a hand on his back the way he does with nervous debutantes, expecting to feel a hammering heartbeat. Only to find the kid was so calm, it was as if his heart wasn't beating at all. Like Messi, he knows he is different, Xavi said before delivering the line that hangs over this entire final. The next 15 to 20 years belong to him. He's careful to point out they're not identical players. Messi went straight for the throat like a video game character, while Yamal is more of a pure dribbler. But the thing that binds them is the mentality, that unshakable, serene certainty that they are simply the best player on the pitch. Xavi's stories about the kid only deepen the sense that this was always coming. He debuted him in a carefully chosen moment, 4-0 up at home against a 10-man Betis, and the bench couldn't believe he was really doing it, throwing on a 15-year-old in a World Cup winning club's first team. But Xavi had watched him in training and seen a boy who barely made a mistake in the rondos, who devoured pressure the way most kids crumble under it. He tells a story about the Euro 2024 semi-final, when a French opponent publicly said Yamal would have to prove himself, and the teenager simply went out and scored one of the goals of the tournament. That's the pattern, Xavi says. The bigger the stage, the more Yamal grows. In all his time watching him, he claims he has never once seen the boy have a bad game, only average, good, or brilliant ones. And that more than the left foot or the dribbling is the trait that echoes Messi loudest. The certainty, the hunger, the refusal to shrink. Which is exactly why Xavi believes that if Yamal lifts this World Cup, the conversation about the best player on the planet is over. Which is what makes Sunday so much more than a football match. This is a passing of the torch, live, in real time, on the grandest stage there is. On one side, Lionel Messi, 39 years old, in what is almost certainly his final World Cup, the last chapter of the greatest career the sport has known. On the other, a teenager standing right at the very start of his, carrying the weight of a nation and wearing his idol's old number. The past and the future, staring at each other across the halfway line. Thierry Henry summed it up beautifully, saying Yamal is the future, while Messi is the past, present, and the future, and forever. There's a poetry to the timing that borders on cruel and gorgeous all at once. One man trying to write the perfect final line of an unmatched story, the other trying to write his first, and both of them chasing the same trophy on the very same night. And even Messi can't fully hold himself apart from the emotion of it, describing Spain as a team he knows intimately, full of players from the Barcelona he's loved his whole life, and calling the final a special, very evenly matched game. For his part, Yamal had said before the tournament even reached this stage, "I'd love to face Messi in a World Cup final." He got his wish. Destiny again. Now, of course, there's an actual football match to be played underneath all this poetry, and it's a serious one. Spain arrive as maybe the most complete team of the tournament, the reigning European champions, unbeaten across a staggering run of major tournament games, built entirely around Luis de la Fuente's suffocating possession system. Rodri sits in midfield like a metronome. They've conceded just a single goal in the entire competition, and in Yamal they carry a wild card who can win a tight game out of nothing. Argentina, meanwhile, are the defending champions chasing an unprecedented fourth straight major title, having already claimed 2 Copa Americas and the last World Cup. And while Messi at 39 no longer runs the show for 90 minutes, he has somehow been at his best as a creator, conjuring the 2 assists that broke England's hearts in the semi-final. There's a lovely arc to his tournament, too. He scored Argentina's first 5 goals of the whole competition then, as the knockouts got harder, quietly transformed into the man setting up everyone else, elevating his teammates rather than carrying them alone. This is a team that simply refuses to die, that has clawed back from the brink against Egypt, against England, again and again. The analysts are split right down the middle. Zlatan Ibrahimovic thinks Spain's control settles it, saying, "I believe Spain is going to dominate that game," reasoning that if Argentina lose patience and start hunting the ball, Spain's passing will simply pull them apart. Thierry Henry, on the other hand, admitted he couldn't even bring himself to make a prediction. So haunted is he by what Messi is capable of, and by everything the Argentine represents. There is no clear favorite. Just 2 brilliant teams and 2 generational stars. And the stakes stretch far beyond a single trophy. For Messi, victory would mean back-to-back World Cups and a 4th straight major title with Argentina, an almost unimaginable capstone on the greatest career the game has seen, and very possibly the perfect final act before he walks away from the international stage for good. For Yamal, lifting this trophy as a teenager would hand Spain its first world crown in over a decade, and, as Xavi flatly predicted, likely end the debate about the best player on the planet before it's even properly begun. One man chasing the perfect ending, the other chasing the perfect beginning, and only one of them can have it. That's the collision waiting for us on Sunday. But let's be honest about what the entire planet is really tuning in for on Sunday. And it isn't the tactical battle in central midfield. It's the story. It's a photograph taken beside a plastic bathtub 19 years ago, finally closing its loop on the biggest stage sport can offer. It's the greatest footballer who ever lived in what may be his very last act, looking across the pitch at the boy he once literally helped to wash, the boy he chose as his own successor, now grown into the man trying to take his crown. Whatever the scoreline, football has already won here, because a coincidence this perfect, this complete, comes along maybe once in a lifetime. Even Montfort, the photographer who started it all, put it best, saying the loveliest part is that in a modern game, so ruled by money and power, this one thing was pure destiny. So on Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern at MetLife, the greatest of all time meets the heir he named himself. You are never going to see anything like it again. So who takes it? The master or the apprentice? Does Messi ride off into the sunset with one last miracle? Or does Yamal announce the future by beating the man who inspired him? Drop your pick down below, and whatever you do, do not miss this one.